right. So this is day 20, yeah, 24 probably? Or no, 23. 23 of when I got a draw. Today is Mr. Moonwalker was the subject of today's drawing. So I actually used a reference image. I know y'all are all sitting there like, you know, he's learning something, which is like the point of the series, of course, but whatever. I think this turned out really fun. Um, I obviously what sparked this is if you're not a big Moonwalker fan, he released a new song and it was very good, and I was listening to it and I was like, you know what, man, this guy is pretty neat. We draw him, right? And so Moonwalker is I don't know. I was gonna just try to like redraw the original image that I was using, but it just I don't know. He's just too like I guess he just feels too creative for that. Like he feels like he justifies a little more color, right? He justifies a little more oomph. So, originally I was gonna have like a bunch of iconography from his albums be the background. But then I was like, you know what? His name's Moonwalker. I mean, you got to make him do the one thing, right? Um, I was very disappointed though. I had a chance to see him live and I didn't do it, and it annoys me. He was in San Antonio, and I live pretty close to there. And guess what? I didn't see him because I'm an idiot. Yeah, I don't know. He's just one of those guys where it's like, God, I wish I was that cool. Yeah, because I'll listen to his music and I'll watch his music videos and all that stuff. I'm just like, damn, that guy's cool. It's just like he's so clever, so fun. Originally, I was gonna have it have like the sun be on one side, the earth be on the other side. I was like, wait, actually, that couldn't exist. Actually, that wouldn't make sense perspective wise. So I was gonna try to size up the earth, but I couldn't figure it out. So what you gonna do about it? So I ended up just kind of you know I left it there for a little bit, and though I do think would have been an interesting concept, I think it was just kind of best left if we didn't do it. Generally, I liked how he did. I like how he did his hair. It's very like curly and messy. If you look at a picture of the guy, he's got some messy hair. I do kind of wish I had not exaggerated it as much on the right side, but I don't think it makes it look worse. I think it just kind of makes it look a little too swayed to one side, but you know. I did want to use some fun and bombastic colors, stuff that's not. I didn't want to just redraw the image. I wanted to actually do some more work that wasn't necessarily intended. And so I was going to use, you know, light colors on, or like, red, yellow, what's it called? Red, yellow, orange on one side, and then have a hint of purple on this, and then flip it on the other side. But it didn't show up with as much contrast as I wanted it to on the other side. It just didn't look quite right, so I did end up scrapping the idea. Though I do think it has, I think it's interesting. I just don't know if I could have pulled it off, especially with all the blending and all of the having to think about colors and all that. It's just ends up being a bit more of a hassle than it's worth. But you can see here that's what conceptually I was thinking of. You can see around here I see that the green would overlap too much with the green, and I was just like, it's just not worth it, right? Because I was like, there's already enough freaky deaky colors in this outfit, so let's just leave it as is. At least that was my thought process going into it. But yeah, I was obviously bumping some Moonwalker while drawing this, and because like I'll re-listen to all this stuff like every few months because drops one music, one music, just the one music. He'll drop a song every few months, and it'll always be like, well, that sure is good. Anyways, time to listen to all of it. I would give a lot to have a full album because he has a couple, but it's just he much more drops solo songs, and so it's disappointing. But it's just one of those things. Where it's like, well, they're high quality, I guess. I guess it makes sense that I don't know. I think his best song, at least personally, is probably "American Dream Come True." Um, just because I don't know that song's fire, and that was what I was bumping. because the most recent song, Genocide Money, it's good, but it just feels, I don't know, there's something about American Dream. Maybe it just speaks to myself, like me personally, a little bit better, but there's just something about it that's just so like, it just gets that little sweet spot, in your brain, because I find it very hard to like review music because so much of it is just like, well, I feel like it's a pretty good song. It's like, well, why? It's like, it just kind of feels like it. I don't know. So again, music. That's why I think music criticism's kind of weird. That, and it's also weird because like when I think of a movie review, I think of like, okay, there's kind of a purpose to this, right? Like there's an end goal because like, not everybody can just go out watch a movie. Like they want to know if it's good or not. The song, it's like, what? Why are we really reviewing? Like, again, it's more of like the discussion of the thing rather than the actual like I get that that's what they're trying to do. It's more about the dialogue about the music than it is necessarily a review of how good or bad it is. However, that's also stupid and dumb, and I don't care. Like because it's the thing. Like I can understand artsy fartsy people being pretentious and annoying. I would know I'm an artsy fartsy person that's pretentious and annoying, but it does confuse me. I guess that somebody's just sitting there waiting for Anthony Fantano to be like, "What does he think about this?" Ugh. Regardless, you can see here I really do like how I colored in like the face and how I did the hair and all that stuff. It feels like it's still like real. It feels like it's still it's still like a tangible, while not bumping over into the side of being a little too loony. I guess feeling a little too colorful. I guess is the correct term. Yeah, and I did go here, and I probably should have re-outlined the lips as well. I think those need a little bit more of a pop, um, or at least redid some of the shading there. But what you gonna do about it, right? But yeah, I really like how I did the colors here. I thought obviously it is I would say it's like a cornerstone of the actual art, and it was really fun. Also, this one only took me like an hour and a half to draw, which considering how much I guess how much like art is in it. Yeah, it's an annoying way of saying it, but it's like that's I guess the only way I could describe it. Um, I think I think it turned out pretty well, especially considering that limitation. Um, yeah, so because like I had an art teacher that at least like the last art teacher I had in like seventh grade. Shouts out to him, he was sick. Um, he would always tell me that like anybody can make good art if you give them enough time, but like great artists they do it really quickly, and so I think I've taken that to heart. I think I do try to work very efficiently, and I am trying to get better at using my like lines more intentionally because I think I would scratch a lot more in those earlier videos, and I think in this a lot of the lines feel very like intentional, and I think that ends up with a better quality on the shading because I think when you can kind of tell when somebody's just scratching at something, but when something has a more of like an intentionality with how they're being placed, it feels a little better to look at, I guess. I don't know. It it's one of those things where it's like you don't think about it when you're looking at it, but like in terms of making the art, it's I guess important. At least I would assume. I don't know. I don't know. Whenever I blow $100,000 to go to art school, I guess I'll I guess I'll see how correct I am about my theories as to why this thing works and why this thing doesn't work. Yeah, no. So I did just try to because I wanted to have a little bit of contrast. I didn't want it to just be all black, and I didn't want it to be all white. So I wanted to have a little bit of something. I was thinking I kind of wanted the background to be a little more blue. I guess that was an idea I was playing around with, but it it just kind of is what it is. Um, blue is I think because I think the blue would add a good contrast to the red and the purple. I think it would make it pop out a little bit more, but you can't always get what you want, as the youngins say. And I did Again, I was trying to toy around with what exactly I wanted the background to be, but I did end up re-outlining him because contrast and all that stuff. It's almost like it's important. I don't know. It's like I'm learning things, guys. I'm telling you. Give me another 30 days. This series will be over. I'll have learned everything there is to know about her. Yeah, so you can see I was trying to experiment with the blue. I kind of wish I just made the background like more of a navy. I think that could have definitely definitely helped because I experimented with the idea of having these like it's like blue stars in the background. And although I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily, I don't think I think it's just kind of those things where it's like eh, I don't think it really adds to it. I don't think it really subtracts to it. It just kind of feels eh, you know. So I did end up going with a much more simplistic approach to this all. But yeah, no. So that was again, this was super fun to draw. Love his art, loves everything he does. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.